Hey y'all, how you doing? Today we are just going to try to get some more planting done. I'm going to start with my tomatoes and see where I get to from there. The tomatoes in my bottom garden. I did the tomatoes in my top garden in my last video, so this one it's going to be the tomatoes that go in my bottom garden, and I'm just going to work until it gets too hot, I get too tired, or until I see too many bees. Not bees, but yellow jackets. So I just had my first encounter with the yellow jacket this year. No, I didn't get stung. But it was like 2 inches from me and I'm very scared, so I'm just going to go in for now. It's a little later. I went in and did some things around the house, but I'm back out here right now and it's overcast and it looks like it might rain. And I don't see any bees or any wasps or anything buzzing around right now. So I'm going to go down once again and try to replant, or try again to plant the tomatoes. For those of y'all that don't know, last year I got stung by a yellow jacket and went anaphylactic, and I don't ever want to feel that way again. And my body, whenever I see a yellow jacket, I have a physical reaction that I can't help. Like, I can't override it with logic. So that's what was happening earlier. I'm going to go back down there and hopefully I don't see this yellow jacket. If I do, I definitely won't be staying down there, but let's try to go get these tomatoes planted. I do want to state that I have my EpiPen with me in case I need it. So I do have that with me as well.
Festivals upon us, oh no, I can't go. I got a bad case of major FOMO. Fear of missing out. There's something happening near. Work said I couldn't get clear. There's a festival going on over there. I told my boss.
I've got all those tomatoes planted. I'm not going to go through a variety tour again because I have every single one of these that I planted down here. I have another one planted in my top garden, so we've already discussed these varieties. I just wanted to have 2 of each variety in my garden, and I knew that I would be using this top row down here, so I planted enough to fill up the top garden and this top row in a way in which I had 2 of each plant in the ground. Alright, I'm going to go grab some probably peppers and bean seeds and meet you at the top. So I'm up here at my top garden now, and I'm just going to plant different sweet peppers that I have. This is the pile right here, and I'm just going to start with these and see how far I get. Hopefully I don't get rained out and I can get them all planted first.
This isn't fair. I think I'll quit my job. Go see what that's about. I suffer from fear of missing out. Guess my account is being overdrawn. I gotta ride if everybody's going. Everybody's losing their minds. Get in the car or get left behind. Let me grab what I got. Let's just follow the sound. In a field camp set up complete. Go grab some grub from Shakedown Street. Go walk around drinking beer and box wine. Hippie say, hey!
So I got my first type of pepper planted. And I'm going to plant a couple of bush beans. I have this one that's purple speckled that I saved seeds from last year that I can't remember what it is. I only got a couple seeds, so I'm going to plant those. And then I'm going to plant some. So it's called Tulsi Krishna Shyama. Krishna-Shyama. And I'm going to plant that, and then I'll start with my next type of sweet peppers, which is the Murasaki Purple. Alright, that's the next step, is just getting these beans planted and doing some basil. Oh yeah, I did decide to take off the cardboard because it's just too hard to cut through that cardboard. I mean, it's rained, but it's just not staying wet enough to where it tears easy because it dries out really quickly once the sun hits it. So I just decided to take it off so that way I could get these plants in. I mean, it's already taken too long this year, so I want to get that done. And anything that's going to slow me down, I just don't have the patience for right now. So let's get on to this next thing. I got a couple different types of ground cherries too, so I might plant a couple of those as well before I go to my next type of pepper.
Welcome inside. Sometimes we stop and just sit down, talk about our friends who missing out. Sometimes the fables get steep, tales of the lot begin to run deep. Before long, someone has something to trade. Can't wear out your welcome when you're invited to stay. I think I'll quit my job, go see what that's about. I suffer from fear of missing out. I'll grab what you got.
So I got the rest of my stuff in, and I'm going to just take you and show you what I planted. Okay, we're going to start at this end of the row. This is sweet peppers. And then they come to here, and I planted, let's see, the purple speckled bean that I'll have to look up. Right here, there was only a couple. Then I did this Krishna Tulsi, a patch of it there. This right here is purple tomatillos. And then here and here I got Tomatillo Verde. And then I did a row, little patch right here, of course nothing's coming up yet, of the Dwarf Taylor horticulture bean. Then I did some sweet basil. And these peppers right here are Murasaki purple, and I did those to here. I put in this GeoFure basil here. It's the only one. And then I did a row of Mbombo beans. This right here is the Mary's Niagara ground cherry, followed by what I believe to be okra. The seeds were labeled wrong, and I've been growing these all season. And now that they're growing, I'm convinced that it's okra. I did this mystery red bean here. I'll have to look up the type of it too, but it's one I saved from last year. Then I did an Aunt Molly, hold on. I did an Aunt Molly's ground cherry and an Aunt Molly's ground cherry. Then these are, there's two big Bertha bell peppers, my Zipster Turk and Spitz, and one mystery pepper that was coming up with my Murasaki purple, but it's green and not purple, so I'm not sure what it is. And then right here I did some Royal Burgundy bush beans. Right here I did two new Hanover ground cherries. And then I filled the rest of this area out with some pinto bush beans. This has been a long day of planting for me, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I am so glad to have this done before this rain starts. I didn't know if I was going to make it. It's getting pretty dark out. I'm not sure when it's going to hit. However, I'm glad to have all these seeds in the ground and all these plants in the ground because they have been hanging out in their containers for a little too long, and I'm sure they're happy to be able to spread their feet. Okay, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.